Welcome back to another episode of r/Am I the A-hole? As always, the titles are on the screen, and if you are new here or haven't already, if you could, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And I'll just get into it. Am I the a-hole for expecting more support from my son? The son I'm talking about is my oldest. While he was an all-round good kid, the most notable thing was he was very smart. That was wonderful when it came to helping siblings with homework, but it made it harder for he and I to connect. In short, he went off to a high-end university, fairly local, worked a full-time job while in school, graduated with some degree I don't understand. While in school, he stayed in touch, visited often, and I couldn't have been more proud when he graduated. Then things got frustrating. He took a job across the country. I know kids eventually need to run off and build a life, but he abandoned his family. When it came to visiting, he comes maybe twice a year and stays with his dad instead of me almost every time. At first he would call every week, then every few weeks. Now I hear from him once a month if I'm lucky. It is very obvious he makes a ton of money. We've never had a talk about it, but I can tell he makes at least twice what his dad and I were making when raising him. I don't think he tries to flaunt it, but when buying gifts for a sibling, he often mails them to my house instead of flying them, or because he chooses not to come for Christmas. And I'll see the stuff he's buying can cost hundreds of dollars each. Video game consoles, fancy purses, laptops. Why does he think that's the kind of stuff we need? Him buying expensive gifts seems to me like a shallow attempt to pay away the time he chooses to spend away and doesn't actually help the family. I see stories of kids making it and turning around to help pay off car loans or mortgages for their parents, but with him, nothing. I looked up the fancy apartment he rents and it costs twice my house payment. I just don't know how you can decide to do that after looking at how the family that raised you is living and knowing your mum won't be able to retire. I know he knows we are hurting for money. Whenever he does grace us with his presence, he makes a point to try and pay for everything. He will borrow cars from his siblings or I, only to return almost immediately with a full tank of gas. He will talk to waiters after getting up to use the bathroom and give him his card so we can buy the meal. If you know we need dollar help, why not just come out and help with the stuff that matters? Finally, he just got engaged a few weeks ago. Did he call his mother to tell me he was planning to, or ask ring advice? No. Did he call me right after? No, I heard from his brother probably 2 hours after he asked, as I was so low down his list he hadn't gotten to me yet. Then I saw the ring and WTF. It must have cost twice what my car cost. His girlfriend is from money, so I'm sure he bought it to appeal to her taste. But to me it just shows that a girl he's known for 5 years is more important than the family that raised him. Am I the a-hole for thinking he should be supportive of his family rather than trying to buy affection and throw cash at his girlfriend? Oh my god, wow. Did she ever just read back on that and realize that's exactly why her kid doesn't want anything to do with her? Shit, man. You are entitled parent meets choosing beggar. He's spoiling his siblings with expensive gifts because he can afford it. He's not obligated to pay for you to live. Right? He's doing nice things when he comes over. He'll buy you presents, he'll fill up your tank. He's being as nice as he wants to be, and you still can't accept that as good enough. Get over yourself. If he was to ever see this and realize that it was you, he would probably never speak to you again. I think he spends way too much money on you already. And yes, other nice novels. Next one is, am I the a-hole for continuing to misgender my sibling? Really don't need to read this one because the answer is going to be yes, you are the a-hole. But here we go. Throw away for reasons. Using my sibling's preferred gender in this post, I usually don't. Long and complex relationship with this older sibling. Not going into all the detail of it, but it needs little background. She did a lot of stuff when we were young, it effed me up a little. Suffice to say, her exes have said she was emotionally abusive to them, and it fits in with my experience. She is the oldest child and the first grandchild on both sides of our family. I would call her spoiled, but that brings the wrong images. What she had was all of the attention she could ever want. I do feel bad for her for this. Most of her life seems to be trying to recapture having this amount of attention. She has a long history of drug and alcohol abuse. She would disappear for years at a time. When she reappeared, she was always in need of money and would claim she was a changed person. This would last long enough that we'd believe her. I was in college when she had one of these changes. I knew better than to believe her, but she was family. I made the mistake of asking college friends about this. They told me that I was TA and I needed to forgive her. This time she remained in contact with my family for a few years. Oh my gosh, cat, get out of my way. It was a year or two after I got out of college that a longtime family friend came out as trans. This friend lost a lot of friends and a lot of family, and our whole family was invested in supporting her. A week or two after this, my sibling called me. She told me she was trans. I instinctively believed she was only doing this for attention, but I struggled to learn about trans and just didn't know what to do. So I did the only thing that felt right. I told her I loved her and accepted her no matter what gender she identified as. Then, from my experience with the family friend, I realized how difficult it would be to instantly refer to her by her proper pronouns, having known her for 20 plus years at that point. I told her this and asked for a little grace as I struggled to do this. She agreed. Next Saturday was my birthday. I'd already invited all my siblings and cousins to play an online video game with me to celebrate. She came, but she had purchased an air horn. Every time someone misgendered her, she blew the air horn into her mic. I was pretty pissed. At some point soon after, she went no contact with the family again. I decided after that not to bother trying to change my way of speaking about her. She has just recently got back in contact with some of the family. When speaking about her, I'm still misgendering her and using her old name. Other family members have called me the a-hole for this. I'll probably change my language around them. Outside the family and to others who, like me, think she is only trans for attention, I fully plan on continuing to misgender her. So am I the a-hole? Holy hell, yes you are. Her bad history is irrelevant to the fact that you're deliberately disrespecting your sibling, and there's no need to do that at all. Like, it's seriously so petty. And a nice little short one. Will I be the a-hole if I don't tip the pizza delivery man? I ordered 2 pizzas about a month ago and they were not acceptable at all. I tipped the delivery man before I opened the box and he went on, but me and my family were upset. We called and they gave us a credit for 2 pizzas on them. Well, isn't that dandy? My mum said save it for a rainy day when she doesn't want to cook and haven't gotten paid yet. Well, today's that rainy day. I'm hungry, she's out of town, so she's not cooking and I don't get paid till Friday. Will I be the a-hole to not tip the driver? Yeah, if you live in America or another place where it's custom to tip, you will be the a-hole because you're already getting 2 free pizzas to replace the crappy pizza. That doesn't stop the fact that you're then having someone drive out to deliver it. You weren't offered a free re-delivery. You could always go pick up the pizza yourself if you don't want to tip. Am I the a-hole for getting mad at someone for sharing a spoiler? So a new Game of Thrones episode came out and I was lucky enough to watch it before I saw any spoilers. Well, just recently I saw an Instagram story of a friend of mine with a spoiler in it. She posted about a very important character's death even before 24 hours had gone by since the episode's release. I was pissed because I could have read that before watching it and someone could and probably did get their day ruined because of that post. I called her out while we were talking on our group chat with all our other friends. I sounded pretty angry, but was I the a-hole? No, your friend's the a-hole for spoiling something that she knows is going to be very important to people. Don't spoil any movies or any TV shows, like, unless it's been at least a few years. Like, if someone hasn't seen it in a few years from release, then they're probably not going to care too much. But even still, just in case they do maybe want to see it or getting around to it, it's on their list. I have a very long list of shows that I would be annoyed if got spoiled for me. Luckily, I have good friends who all post spoiler warnings before they comment on anything that could be deemed a spoiler for something, because my friends are not a-holes. Like your friend is an a-hole. You're not though, so you're all good. And the last one for today, well, at least for this video, there were quite a few more that I kind of liked the title of, so I may just film another post straight after this one. But am I the a-hole for getting upset after my friends defended someone who calls me a slur for homosexual? So for background, I'm bisexual and I'm 16 in high school. So I have one not really friend but hangs around with my other friends and is kind of racist, homophobic, etc. So today I was in an Xbox party with him and we were arguing about something stupid and then he calls me a slur. Then I obviously get very upset, blocking him and kicking him up from a group chat. After that, some of my friends started defending him and called me overly sensitive and it's just a joke, even when this is not the first time. Am I oversensitive a-hole or am I in the right to be upset? You are totally in the right to be upset. This person is a douche and they can go F themselves in my opinion, and your friends defending him are probably defending him because they're just as shit people, so you should probably find some new friends the same. And yeah, that is it for today's video. If you liked it, please remember to hit the like button, and as I said before, if you're new or you haven't already, please subscribe. Yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions, if you agreed with me, if not, why, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!